Hi again from the Vuvuzela team. Today we're at the beautiful Coco de Mer Hotel and we're going to be chatting to Wayne Johnson from African Edu-Eco. Welcome, Wayne.
Hi, thank you, Mandy.
Wayne, tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Mandy, I've been in the industry for around about 35 years. I've experienced everything that is on offer in adventure, in nature guiding, in marine guiding, you name it, even from a scuba diving perspective. I always at a young age, I decided that I don't want to be one of those people that grow old and say, I should have. I like to know that what I've achieved and what I've done is everything that I aspired to. So yeah, I've been involved in everything field guiding. I've been training game rangers, field guides, marine guides all over Africa. I've done it in 13 different countries. And I've also specialized in game lodge development and game lodge consulting. A full smorgasbord of services that I offer there. Because there's a dire need for that, you know. Anyone with money who doesn't necessarily understand the hospitality component will benefit by those particular services, and that's what I've been doing up until quite recently. So yeah, it keeps me fresh, keeps me young, keeps me handsome.
Not very many people can say that they have had the experiences that you have had, and there's just so much knowledge that you can impart on others. Tell us a little bit more about African Edu-Eco and where that is during these times.
Okay, during these times, obviously with the lockdown, there's not a lot happening with it, but it is a time for laying new foundations. It's a time for re-strategizing and actually looking at it in a totally different perspective. Going forward, African Edu-Eco, as the name implies, educational ecology or ecosystems. Basically we do, and more so myself, I do private guiding. I take specialist groups out into the field, and it's not just a guided experience, it's more so an educational experience. It's taking it way back to a transformational level. It's also from an experiential point of view that people really experience what is being seen in a different light. Everything is based on interpretation. It's not book bound. I've had some amazing experiences in my time that you can't find in the books, because a lot of these animals don't read those books. So from that perspective, I think what we're doing what I'm doing from a African Edu-Eco point of view is re-establish ourselves in Africa, offering a number of really I would say special wow factor experiences where people will go and they'll actually experience those iconic animals. I'm dealing with a lot of programs where I'm dealing with predators, I'm dealing with Africa's dwindling giants. I'm dealing with, and when I talk of the African dwindling giants, I'm talking about gorillas, I'm talking about elephants, I'm talking about rhino. I'm talking about all those type of animals that are essentially are a focus of a tour. But linked to that, I'm doing specialist birding tours, and pretty much the focus is going to be on 13 countries, ranging from West Africa to Central to East and to Southern Africa. A bit later down the track, I am looking at other opportunities on a global scale, where I'll be doing a lot of stuff in Antarctica, I'll do stuff in Alaska, I'll do stuff in Patagonia, I'll do stuff in Borneo, but with all a specific focus. My focus is not on cultural tourism or the human component, although that's a very fundamental part to what I do, is communities have to benefit, otherwise these things are going to disappear. These animals, these habitats are going to disappear. So there must be a direct benefit derived by the communities, and so my focus is more so on the animals. It's on the conservation status, the environmental issues that are at hand. So that's really where the focus is, and on a global scale I think that's going to have a real powerful impact. But it's going to offer people, discerning travelers, an opportunity to experience wildlife like they've never possibly experienced it before.
Wayne, tell us, are you going to be doing gap year programs, or if there is somebody who thinks they want to go into this sort of career, do you have something that they could do through you?
Look, there's a number of programs, there's a number of accredited training institutions out there. I don't want to do the formal training anymore. I've been there, done that, got that t-shirt, written the book. And I'm really looking at it from a different perspective. Is, you know, if someone is second guessing whether it is something they want to do, instead of mom and dad going to spend copious amounts of money and little Johnny says, no, it's really not what I want to do, but I've just spent 180 grand on putting something like this together, I'm giving them the opportunity to come and experience the whole enchilada, the good, the bad and the ugly, right from the outset. You know, tourism, everyone's got this glorious picture about tourism and being a field guide. The glorious side is what's portrayed, but it's actually hard work, and if you're not a people's person, it's something that will just leave people sort of longing. So it's very, very important that I look at it from that perspective. So informal training where I'll take families out, I'll look after families, do marine programs, do a lot of bush-related mountain programs, adventure programs, but it's going to have that emphasis with the educational background. I want people just to come have an experience, say I saw a lion. I want them to go and recount exactly what a lion's all about, to become ambassadors for species, to become almost spokespersons at the end of the day as to where things are evolving. And Africa, right now in Africa, there's a huge amount of human community, people conflict, and that's where the real trick lies. Conservation is no longer 80% of the time being conservation and a little bit of community on the side. It's actually switched around. If you don't get buy-in from communities, the wildlife's not going to benefit. And that's where I think real focus has to be. People have to benefit, to see the benefit. Yes, bringing high-paying clients into specific entities and areas, locations, will generate income that is going to directly affect those communities. And I think this lockdown has actually created quite an awareness as to the value of tourism. By sidelining tourism right now, a lot of people have stood to lose jobs. I think if they are angling at maybe opening localized tourism or South African-based tourism by September and then gradually opening the international, it's the right time. But anything beyond December this year will be the death of tourism in this country, which has been a significant contributor to the GDP.
Wayne, it's been incredible interviewing you today on the Vuvuzela. For anybody out there wanting to know more about what Wayne can provide and African Edu-Eco, we'll be sharing his details with you during this interview. Thank you so much for joining us, Wayne.
Well, thank you very much.
To our viewers, we'll be seeing you again on the next Vuvuzela. Take care.